The wait for the 2022 NFL season is almost over, and nothing compares to being at the game. Tickets to regular season games are on sale now. Just scan the QR code on the bottom left of the screen to get into the action and to celebrate Back Together Saturday. If you purchase tickets within the next 72 hours, you will receive a 25% discount code to NFLshop.com, as well as a personalized discount code to purchase NFL Plus for the preseason, and an entry into a sweepstakes to win an exclusive Wilson Duke football. Terms and conditions apply. Welcome back to Back Together Saturday. The Cleveland Browns in camp and still waiting for a decision from the league on possible discipline for Deshaun Watson. Watson has settled with 20 of the 24 women who sued him for inappropriate sexual behavior in massage sessions. Let's go to Kimberly Martin. She's out at Browns camp. And Kimberly, how are the Browns handling the unknowns around a Deshaun Watson suspension?
Good morning, Laura. Yeah, the Browns understand that it's a waiting game. And Kevin Stefanski did say, had I known the suspension length, it would have changed how I got the training camp plan together. But also, Laura, Kevin Stefanski did say that we can't control that. Control what you can control. And right now the plan is just get Deshaun Watson and Jacoby Brissett ready. Both of them need to be ready in the event that Jacoby has to step in. Now, they've both been at practice, and the Browns, his teammates, and these fans today in attendance will get a sense of what the Browns might miss if Deshaun isn't on the field, right? Amari Cooper called him a magician. But Amari Cooper did say that unlike when he was with the Cowboys and Dak Prescott was injured in Week 5 in 2020, the Browns actually have time to prepare in the event that Deshaun is suspended. So Amari Cooper told me, we have time to prepare. If you know who the quarterback is, it makes things a lot easier.
Yeah, it's a good point, Kimberly. A totally different situation than if someone's injured during the season or something like that. There is time on their side when it comes to putting this offense together. Thanks to Kimberly. More from you and other reporters later. Adam, what more can you add on the timeline when it comes to the suspension of Deshaun Watson?
It sounds like there's a real chance that discipline could come this week. In fact, last week, while nobody knows exactly what Sue L. Robinson, the judge in this case, will rule or when she'll rule, I was told early in the week last week that it wouldn't be this past week and that they really thought it would be the next week, which is this upcoming week. So it sounds like this could be the week which we get a ruling from Sue L. Robinson. We know that the NFL has pushed for a lengthy suspension of about a year. It wants to see Deshaun Watson on the sideline, not playing for a healthy amount of time. The NFLPA has argued to the other side that the NFL bylaws, its constitution, say that the owners are held to the highest standard, and we've seen owners in this league step out of line in recent years not to be disciplined. So why should Deshaun Watson be disciplined in the eyes of the NFLPA? That's been their argument. Now we'll see what the federal judge, in this particular case, Sue L. Robinson, decides to rule. I think we'll get a ruling this week, and the Browns then can make their adjustments once they know the length of the suspension, and each side can determine whether or not it wants to appeal if either side is unhappy with the decision.
Again, we are here on ESPN till noon, taking you all around training camps. Deshaun Watson and the Browns hit the field around 2:30 p.m. Eastern. You can also get continuing coverage of training camp on NFL Network, and today from 1 to 3 Eastern on ABC with us. There's Jared Goff on the field for the Detroit Lions this morning. And listen, Dan, I teased this a little bit. You think they could be sneaky good. Who are some guys that we should be talking about with this team that would back up that argument?
Amon-Ra St. Brown, wide receiver for them. Guys, there was 15 receivers in the league last year that had 90 catches or more. That rookie was one of them. And I think he really fits what they want to do. DeAndre Swift, their tailback.
young budding wide receiver that's on this roster now in Detroit as well. So when you think about this team from a personnel standpoint, for so long we looked at the Detroit Lions, to your point, and we're like, they just don't have enough.
Right.
It's not enough on this roster when you start looking at these names to compete in this league at the level that you want to. Even you go on the defensive side of the football. Now you bring in Michael Brockers. Obviously, you draft Aiden Hutchinson. They are excited. Aaron Glenn, who I played with, Dan Campbell, who I played with in Dallas, are excited about what Jeff Okudah can be. Now, I know it hadn't turned out, excuse me, to what they thought it should be at this point. But when you look at this roster, if these guys play up to their level, it's a tough out against the Detroit Lions.
I agree, bro.
Physically and from a personnel standpoint.
Jared doesn't have to play great football.
No.
Jared Goff does not have to play great football because of the talent around him.
And they're going to be better, I think, than people expect this season. They're going to be better than people are used to seeing them.
Yeah.
You mentioned the offensive line. There are 3 former first-round picks up there.
And they hit on all of them. They're all good players.
Taylor Decker, Frank Ragnow, and a Sewell. So they've got a really strong offensive line. The offensive line to Jared Goff that you bring up, he's playing behind a better offensive line in Detroit than he played behind in Los Angeles.
And Schefty, that's the difference between the Lions now and, candidly, the Lions when I was there. Never hit on the first-round picks. It was always like, oh, we got the 6th pick of the draft. They take a guy, and 2 years later, he's not even on the football team. And you mentioned, like, Decker's a really good left tackle. Jonah Jackson is a physical left guard. Ragnow is one of the better centers in football. Penei Sewell is becoming one of the better right tackles. This is a situation.
Hold on, you skipped over the right guard, Dan.
Vaitai. I'm going to say last name.
I love it.
You don't have to ask your quarterback to do it.
Man. And to your point, you talk about mentality. This team played hard for Dan Campbell last year.
Yeah, they did.
With voided talent. So now, like, his mentality, Dan Campbell played tight end with the Cowboys when I was a rookie. His mentality is physicality. He's never going to get away from that.
And his mentality is, yes, I can. Yes, we can.
Absolutely. So I look forward to seeing not only the identity, to your point, but now you have explosive personnel. You don't just have guys that can make plays. You got guys that can change games on this offense.
And they were in some games last year that they should have won. They should have beaten San Francisco. They should have beaten Baltimore. And now they've added enough talent where you're in a close game like that. That'll be the difference in giving them some of the victories that he won't have to cry about in the post-game press conference.
So to your point, look at what you asked me. It is